So I started in 2017, but kind of went full-time 2019. But within the last year or so, the company has like almost doubled. Like this last year, I've hired 2 full-time employees by not doing all the work myself. I finally hired employees, and we do like about 50 people plowing right now and about 100 to 110 lawns to like mow and everything like that in the summertime. And I do want to grow, but I feel like we're not as profitable with a 3-man crew as we should be.
Yeah. Okay. So let's attack this from a different angle. What allowed you to grow so quickly in the past year and a half, 2 years versus the first 6 or 7? Was it just you marketing? Was it just that you were like, okay, I'm going to finally hire someone? And like, what was that difference?
I finally moved out of my parents' house, and I had a lot more bills that needed to be covered. So I got more customers, raised my prices more, and just kind of kept getting employees because the phone kept going off and everything like that.
Cool.
And I just don't know how to say no.
Totally. And so right now, is it harder to find employees or find customers?
Probably find decent employees, and I feel like I'm paying decent, but it's just I haven't really advertised for employees either because I've been so busy doing the work and then getting home and trying to do the admin work.
Yep. So what's your revenue this year going to be, John?
So my gross income, I would be like 160 to 175K. Don't really know the net because we've been so busy with snow removal. I've not had time to try to do a profit and loss for the last couple months. And I'm trying to transfer to Copilot from Yard Books, so it was a little bit difficult trying to do that with the profit and loss statement.
Got it. If you had to guess, John, what percentage of your current estimates get accepted? If you had to guess.
I would say lately with plowing, because I upped it, maybe like 1 in 5 people. Because we got so busy during plowing, I was just raising it really high because we couldn't really do any more work, but I would make the time if they wanted to pay a lot.
Okay. So what I would say, John, is you are at capacity. At capacity means you are maxed out your trucks, you've maxed out your current team, and now you're taking the brunt of anything above capacity. That's why you're working extra hours, you're out in the field, you're working the nights, etc. And so you're at that stage. Do you have 2 trucks right now, John, or 1?
I have 2 trucks. I'm in one, and then my other employees are in the other.
Got it. So you're basically at capacity because you're trying to run around doing some estimates, you're doing some operations, doing the work itself. You're also doing admin, answering the phones, etc., as well as having them do their work. So 2 trucks. At 200,000, you're almost maxed out with the current setup. I also think that if you have 2 to 3 employees doing 200,000 annual revenue and you're still in the field, it's gonna be a squeaky profit margin. And so I do think you can and should raise prices. And what's really good is you're at capacity. It's the perfect time to do this. And so it sounds like to me that the past couple months it's caught up to you where it's almost so evident. And this is why I love like just identifying I am at capacity. This is where I raise prices. And it's almost been forced on you recently because you just realize like I cannot, unless I go buy more trucks and hire more people, I have to raise prices. And so I would stay in that mode throughout all of Spring Rush. And that is, you're going to feel constantly like tail on fire, like you are pushing because you're at capacity. The good thing about capacity is I give you license to raise prices. And you have to because you can't take any more jobs on. And I would say you need to do that for 1 solid season in the spring because I have a feeling you've been underpricing quite a bit on the mowing side. And just based upon your revenue.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
On some jobs we have and everything. I lost a little bit on some jobs this year.
So what's going to happen, you're going to hit Spring Rush this year. You're going to get a whole influx of new jobs, and then you're going to raise prices across the board by at least 15% to all of your customers, and 5% of them, 6% of them are going to leave. Those are going to be your worst paying customers. They're the ones you're probably losing money on right now if you're sending a crew of 2 employees to right now, and you're propping up the finances of the business by filling the gaps and doing all the extra jobs yourself. And so hitting capacity is the best thing. So when I hear someone's working out like late nights, they're trying to work in the field, I think it's horrible. It's the thing I'm trying to fix with software and with all the courses, everything. Like, that's why I do what I do. Asterisks, it's a great problem to have because it means you're at capacity. And it's at capacity you can raise prices. Because if you were telling me, John, that I don't really have enough work, we're working 3 days a week right now, the guys are working kind of part-time, it'd be hard for me to tell you to go raise prices and reduce your number of customers and reduce your close rate. But the same thing that's happened with plowing, we just need to now do it in Spring Rush for mowing, and that is increase prices, cut the lowest paying customers, allow for space at the top for existing customers or new customers to come in that are willing to pay a more premium price. And in doing so, buy back your time. Also, identify what capacity is so you don't hit it again. And so I would take very much inventory of how many budget hours. This is the thing that moving into Copilot, soon to be Homeworks. The advantage I think that it has is it tracks budget hours. Use it religiously, John. And what you're going to start figuring out on the calendar view for weekly and monthly is it shows how many budget hours you have for recurring jobs and one-time jobs. You're going to very quickly identify what is my budget hour capacity as a net for my whole team. And when you start exceeding that, you're going to start feeling the same way you feel now, which is working in the evenings. You're trying to make up for jobs at night, on the weekends. You're late at night when you should be with your kids. And you're sort of, okay, that was at 220 budget hours. I'm considering 200 my cap. And whenever I get above 200 budget hours for 4 straight weeks in advance, so I'm booked out with 200 budget hours for 4 more weeks, I'm raising all my prices on one-time jobs and recurring jobs that are on the schedule. Easy as that. Now you've established what capacity is, and now you're raising prices based upon math, not when you're burnt out.